Okay, guys, I've been observing what is going on in the NNP party and the fight for succession. And one thing is clear is that the Rubicon has been crossed. And all of this that we are seeing is public proclamations. This is what we're seeing. So you can only imagine what is taking place behind the scenes. There is absolutely no way at this stage that there will be some amicable resolution to the issue of succession, especially if it involves that certain individual who is vying for leadership of the party and who obviously Dr. Keith Mitchell does not want to lead the party. The Rubicon has been crossed. There is no way at this stage, if that individual continues to try to put themselves up for the leadership of the party, that this will be resolved amicably. Even if they were to succeed in gaining leadership of the party, guess what is going to happen? The NNP party would be fractured. And it's interesting. I think probably a few months ago, I think it was over the summer, I was talking to someone who's actually involved with the NNP party. And, as time is possible, things are going to change and they're thinking about a convention and who's going to be the new leader of the party. And I said to them, let me tell you something. If that certain individual goes up for leadership of the party and there's some sort of fight between that individual and Dr. Keith Mitchell, I can guarantee you that will split the party down the middle. And it may not even be down the middle. It might be, 1-4 or 3-4, whatever. But the loyalty that Dr. Mitchell commands in the party, and he's been expressive about him not wanting that individual as leader of the party. So he has made it known to his followers within the party. And these are relationships that he has built for decades. So he has made it known. He's adamant that this guy should not be the leader of the party. So there's no way to turn this around. There is no way that this is going to end well. The best case scenario is if that individual says, look, I'm going to bow out and I'm going to leave this alone. But I guarantee you, if that individual continues to vie for leadership of the party, that party would be split and would be weakened at minimum. And I'm sure that the enemies of the NNP party are salivating. They're wet at the lips. They're wet at the tongue. And are hoping that this may happen. This would be a gift to the NDC party for the next election. So it's no surprise, as I said, they might be salivated of the prospects of this happening. So best case scenarios, the gentleman bows out and remains within the party, but then there still will be some level of distrust. Or the gentleman uses this as an off-ramp, as an opportunity to leave the party and form his own party. That is the best case scenario. Then he has a plausible excuse for leaving, and then it can be a clean cut. But either way, if he remains and vies for the leadership of the party, then guess what? It will never end well. It will destroy the NNP party. Even if all goes well for that individual, and let's say they vie for the leadership and secures the leadership, there will be a problem and a crisis of leadership because to subsequently unify the party would be a monumental task. There will be infighting regardless. And hey, you heard the words of Dr. Keith Mitchell. Bring it on. Bring it on. Let me hit you with that clip again.
Bring it on. Bring it on, man. Bring it on.
If they ever were fighting words, these are some fighting words. This is not someone that's ready to compromise. And the person who's supporting the other person who's vying for leadership is also a natural born fighter. So who you think is going to blink first? So the NNP party has some difficult choices to make. And that individual, probably, if they're concerned about the party and the nation, can say, you know what? I see where this is heading. You have some very strong-willed people there. I mean, you have that individual who's supporting the individual as vying for the party. And people who know that individual who's supporting that individual who's vying for the party knows that this is not someone that is willing to negotiate and back down. It's a very strong-spirited person. And they may have scores to settle with the leader of the party. So this is going to get uglier. And it will destroy the NNP party if it continues along that path. So tough decisions has to be made. Because there's no way Keith Mitchell is going to retract or is going to change course in terms of how he feels about that particular individual. As I said, the Rubicon has been crossed. They're on the other side. Ain't no turning back. That relationship has been destroyed. There's no reconciliation in that relationship. It is quite obvious that Keith Mitchell wants to play some sort of role post-succession. And it's understandable, you know. I mean, it's like you have a job and you retire from the job. You know, you'll obviously get bored. So you'd want to, like, you know, this is something you've been doing for the last 40 years. You're not just going to sit around and not do anything. You'll go nuts. So it's obvious. And Keith Mitchell as a symbol of the party. He's a significant symbol of the party. So there's no way that he's going to entirely dissociate himself from the party. And with so much bitterness already expressed and so much lines being drawn, it's just a matter of time. If it doesn't happen now, it's a matter of time that this is all going to come to a head. So the actual preservation, the actual togetherness of the NNP party is in jeopardy right now. Hopefully, grown men and grown people can do grown things and preserve the integrity of the NNP party so they can remain a viable party and think of the greater good of the nation. But I'm not counting on it because egos are at play. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Comment below.